Hello, is this Sensor Gambino here with a new video. In this video I'm going to be going over the upcoming improvements to the GTA Online experience coming as part of the Criminal Enterprises on July 26th from July 22nd, 2022. But yeah, starting off, this top image here, not really too important, but it does seem to provide a better look at the new helicopter that appears to be coming into the next update. And yeah, I'm pretty certain it's new considering it doesn't seem to have a tail rotor, and I'm pretty sure there's not really much of a helicopter that doesn't have a tail rotor that has this kind of body style and whatnot currently. But yeah, for the next couple to few paragraphs and stuff, there's not really much of anything new per se to mention here until this image here. But yeah, interesting to note here, it has the Howl's special works here, so I wonder if this is the existing classic here. But I don't know though, this is the ENS Jubilee, I think, from the previous contract DLC. I don't know if this would really count as the existing classic for that new Howl special work vehicle that's going to be coming later in the summer. Hard to say in my opinion if the Jubilee would be that vehicle. Maybe it just says it because it's on a certain slot that has Howls, even though it might not be a Howl vehicle. But yeah, basically you can now put low grip tires on any vehicle that can go in the LS car, meaning not just purely the tuner subclass vehicles. So that'll be very nice for vehicles like the Drift Tampa and Drift Yosemite. You can now kind of turn them into actual proper drifting vehicles, which should definitely be pretty awesome. Gives those vehicles more utility in a sense. Yeah, this here doesn't necessarily really have much to mention either. And here just mentions more of the low grip tire thing. We have vehicles will also be delivered faster when requesting from the mechanic. So maybe the mechanic will now spawn just as fast as the MC motorcycle menu or something. But yeah, those MC motorcycles, they'll spawn pretty quick, so I could definitely very easily see it being something like that. You will no longer incur a charge for destroying another player's weaponized vehicle. So now you can actually properly defend yourself and not get punished for once, which is definitely quite nice. The Avenger and Mobile Operations Center vehicle workshops can now have any vehicle in them as long as it fits, not counting the Mark II because it already has its own workshop for the Terabyte. Definitely very nice there. It gives it more portability when it comes to the different mod shops in the game and more vehicles that can go into it, not just purely weaponized ones now. And yeah, ownable properties will be increased from 8 to 10, giving total garage space up to 20 more vehicles. So basically you can get 2 more 10 car apartments, the typical regular apartments where you do the original heists. And obviously you also get those free bicycle slots as well, so you can technically own 6 more bicycles. And then in Military Motorsport and Super San Andreas Super Auto websites will now have new filters and browsing shortcuts, which you can do with L1, R1, OB, or RB on PlayStation and the Xbox systems. And then this paragraph here actually has some new juicy details here. And yeah, the nerf for the Mark II in terms of the countermeasures will have increased cooldowns and then fewer uses. So more time between uses for the different countermeasures, and then you're going to be limited to maybe 5 countermeasures. If it's 10 right now, maybe it gets half to 5 or something. But unfortunately, still no details yet on those homing missiles, how those are going to be changed. And yeah, personally, I'm not big on the Mark II nerf. I wish it was just kept as is, especially now that cell missions will be doable in invite-only lobbies now. I feel it's a bit late now for it to be happening, but yeah, good for those who want that, I suppose. And then the Sparrow will have the Sparrow will be able to have chaffin and flare countermeasures. So now you can put the flares and chaffs on Sparrow into Kosaka. Hopefully they also do that with the Sea Sparrow as well, not just the regular Sparrow, but knowing Rockstar will probably only do it with the regular Sparrow, unfortunately. So now give the Sparrow a bit more utility there to make it less vulnerable to enemy fire. And then here shows a new like UI like image for the weapon wheel. But yeah, now with the new update, you'll be able to press update a snack. And in my opinion, it should start with like the lowest health snacks, and then it should increase to the highest health snack. Or maybe give like a couple options, like setting options in like the interaction menu or something. Let people customize that a little bit perhaps. And then you can also do R3 for armor. And if they're not going to do like much of a setting thing or something, again, I hope it goes from like least to greatest armor when pressing R3 there. And something else interesting, I'm not sure if there's going to be much out of this, so take this one with a grain of salt, but yeah. Notice how there's like 13 like assault rifles there. Because I believe there's like 8 like regular assault rifles currently in the game. I think a 9th one is set to release with the new update. And then I think there's 4 like Mark II like assault rifles. So it would be cool if they would actually let people own like all the Mark 1 and the Mark II versions at the same time. Because I think currently you can only own like Mark 1 or like Mark II versions of assault rifles and other weapons. So I'm not sure if that's more of like a hidden change there, because I don't know like any occasion where anyone ever can have like 13 like assault rifles at one time. Though it's probably just going to be for the mission, unfortunately. That's a bit of something I kind of analyzed here. But again, take that one with a grain of salt. And yeah, this paragraph here doesn't really go into anything new either. But yeah, when delivering security contracts to the agency, you will now be able to enter via helicopter, which it should have been like that from the first day of the contract, I feel. Or of course you can go for the roof entrance. Because apparently you had to go for the front door previously, which was really dumb in my opinion. Very glad that's going to be getting changed. When managing an auto shop business, the staff will now be more likely to successfully deliver vehicles without issue. So the staff should be able to deliver with barely any issues now, instead of like crashing like crazy apparently when they deliver vehicles. Make it a lot better as a passive business now. And to make getting to certain locations easier, you will now be able to jog inside the Down Casino Resort, Music Locker, and then the nightclubs. A couple of the probably biggest interiors of the entire game. So that's definitely going to be a pretty welcome change there. It should be like that for all of the interiors if there's other ones that they're not going to be doing that for. And then you'll also be able to purchase max ammo for all weapons at once in the interaction menu, not just for like a particular class like it is currently, I believe. And by all ammo, I assume they mean like regular ones and not Mark II, obviously, as well. Unless you're using regular ammo on your Mark IIs, then maybe. And yeah, they pretty much showed this snack thing already with the UI, like image thing I showed. And then if you fail and then quick restart a mission, you'll apparently have the stacks that you start with instead of like losing out on whatever ones you had to use in the previous attempt now. Definitely a very welcome change instead of having to go out of your like heist or whatever and then refilling on snacks if you run out or something. And then you'll now be able to hang up on phone calls from contacts when they offer missions rather than being forced to listen to them. Technically right now you can get out of it if you like pause the game or whatever, but just being able to press like circle or like B or whatever on like Xbox to be able to exit like typical phone calls would definitely be quite nice. So English Dave shouldn't get in the way much anymore in the next couple days. PC players will also have the option to disable in-game chat. Something I probably should have been in from the first day, but better late than never, I guess. And yeah, reduce instances of griefing. They'll be removing the kill death statistic in free mode only. So it will only be for competitive gameplay. Something again that probably should have been the thing since the first day of the game. since I'm not sure why that was even a thing much in free mode, and because that's typically something for competitive gameplay. And then after initial visit, you'll be able to spend more time scoping Cayo, and then you can get caught more times before getting kicked off. Most times I don't even get like caught whatsoever, so I don't know who's getting caught so many times typically. It's definitely all those, it's probably all the scrubs in the game, quite honestly. More bad news, unfortunately, about Cayo later on, though. Race Creator will get assortment of updates. We'll get increased a checkpoint limit. A player limit increase apparently to transform races should be allowing more players to participate now. So that's going to be quite welcome. Number of fixtures that can be removed apparently on the 9th generation of systems only for that one there. And all platforms can now create RC Bandito races apparently from the special vehicle race creator. So player created RC Bandito races, that could maybe be quite exciting because I feel the Rockstar created ones weren't really necessarily all that impressive for those types of races. And yeah, there's a Ghost First checkpoint option apparently being added for additional race types. More models apparently will be added to the fixture remover. And then there's going to be a new anti-grief ghosting option to ghost players driving in the wrong direction. Not sure why that's not just like a standard option, because I think it works like that for like open wheel races. Not sure why something like that wasn't a thing from day one, but whatever. And yeah, apparently you can set specific time of day for a race, which is pretty interesting. I thought you could kind of already do that for Rockstar created ones at least. I don't know, maybe it wasn't a thing for player ones before, don't know. And an ability to scale checkpoint sizes, that seems a bit interesting there. And yeah, this image here, I think this is just like the Calco, like GTF, like a previous like tuner vehicle here, and then I think it's like Dinka RT3000, so I think these aren't new vehicles. I don't think there's anything significant here. And yeah, payout increase stuff here. Nothing really new to mention with these two here, but yeah, from here it gets way more interesting. But yeah, races. Now there's a confirmed amount of like percentage like increase and whatnot, but races will pay 50% more apparently for like at least the standard types, not necessarily like specialty ones like open races and not transform. I assume those don't necessarily count. But yeah, 50% more. I feel it's a bit underwhelming for races. I feel races are pretty competitive. I feel it could have used at least 75%, maybe even. But still, should be a kind of nice increase regardless. And then prize pool for premium races will be increased. Top 3, which previously got money, will stay with their same amounts, but apparently placing beneath top 3 will actually give money as well now. So you won't like just walk away with nothing now, it seems. So perhaps premium races could be a bit more worth doing then. Adversary modes will also get that like 50% increase similar to the races. But yeah, honestly, probably not going to be all that like significant enough to get people playing them, to be honest. Unless again it's not like a money opportunity or something like with races. Like an event week or something. And then here's where it gets even more interesting with the heists. But yeah, there will be 50% more money on the heist setups. Heist setups, I think at most pay like 25,000 to like 30,000 on like standard money, I think. So maybe heist setups can pay like around like 50,000-ish or something, so that can be alright for those doing this setups. And I think that's only for like certain like heist types. Minimum cut for finales is now set at 15%. So now you can't literally be given like nothing for a heist. Sucks for those who actually wanted their like friends or something to get all the like percentage or something. But yeah, when playing with randoms, getting nothing, that definitely must suck. Though at that point you should probably just leave anyways, but still nice to see in a sense. Then cost of heist setup fees have been reduced to $25,000. But yeah, $25,000 for heist setup fee was already the case with the casino heist and then Cayo heist. So it puts the original and then the Doomsday heist more in line with the casino and Cayo heists now. So that's very nice. And the heist finales that will be getting 75% more money on their permanent money totals will be Felicia Job, Humane Labs Raid, the Prison Break heist, and then Series A Fine Finale. Kind of impressed, honestly, that the Felicia Job is getting 75% more. I feel being a pretty basic heist, it didn't really need much of an increase, to be honest. But yeah, very glad to see 75% more on Felicia Job. And Humane Labs Raid again, I feel that one was pretty alright as is. Then again, it does have that annoying stealth setup missions, so that people tend to mess up on, so that could be kind of worthwhile with 75%. Prison Break, I feel definitely needed 75%, and maybe even the Series A's. I feel these two especially kind of needed that 75% to actually be more worth it. So these should be more around the $1 million amounts, I assume, so it should put it more in line with some of the later heists. And then these ones will give an additional 50%, the Pacific Standard Finale, the final of the original heist that require 4 players. But yeah, 50%, this is the heist where you can actually lose money when you get shot and whatnot, so it might not be the most hugest amount for Pacific Standard, at least in particular. But still, there's quite some ways to do pretty good on Pacific Standard jobs. There's still should be quite noticeable, at least. And Doomsday Act 1, I felt that one was pretty okay, but glad to see that one also gain 50%. But yeah, basically all 3 Doomsday heists are 50% extra now as well for their permanent amounts of money. Not counting an event, obviously. But yeah, Act 2, that one was pretty easy in my opinion for the actual finale at least. But yeah, the setups on Act 2 and 3 I feel can be quite annoying now. So I feel these definitely needed increases because of the setups or whatever, where you go into the separate lobbies and all. And yeah, Act 3 definitely needed an increase. But still, since it's getting the same amount as Act 2, I feel it's probably still just better to do Act 2, quite frankly, and probably even Act 1 over Act 3 still. I feel Act 3 probably should have been a 75% increase, to be honest. But still, at least it's getting an increase whatsoever. And yeah, with the update, all heists will have the same cooldown of 1 in-game day, or 48 minutes. So that means that Cayo heist will now also be a 48-minute cooldown instead of the 10-minute cooldown it's been for the last couple years, unfortunately. And that's only when playing as a group, apparently, when it comes to the Cayo heist, because the other heists you have to do as a group, obviously. And they'll also adjust specific aspects of said Cayo heist to better balance players' time spent. Solo playthroughs apparently will trigger a cooldown of 3 in-game days. Now that is honestly fucking bullshit though. When they first released Cayo heist, the huge thing of the Cayo heist was finally having a soloable heist in the game. The main focus of that update was being able to actually do a heist solo. And now they're basically taking that shit away, bruh, just wow though. They're actually taking away the huge solo friendliness of Cayo heist now. It's pretty sad. That was the main good thing about it. But yeah, doing it solo now basically will trigger a cooldown of 3 in-game days, so 48 minutes times 3. That's about 2.5 hours cooldown if you do it solo, apparently. That's just fucking ridiculous. I feel The 48-minute cooldown, I feel, and how it is currently, should be plenty for a nerf, but no, they have to nerf in so many damn ways, apparently. And then after stealing a high-value primary target, apparently the higher-value ones will appear less often for the next 72 hours. And I assume since they don't use in-game days, 72 hours would mean free in real-life days. So you have free in real-life days, similar to some like money, where you can like do like a couple like payphone hits, for example, right now, and then like a couple days later to give you like $100,000. Some of those like money things they do, it's kind of similar to that, where you have to wait like 3 real-life days, I assume. So you literally have to wait 3 real-life days, it seems, just to get a better chance at higher value primary targets. I understand you can still get it, obviously, and you're most likely going to be able to do a lot of those heists if you're willing to wait the like 48 minutes to like almost 2.5 hours, but that's too many nerfs, man. That's way too many nerfs. And then the value of secondary targets will increase. Well, at least something's increasing, I guess, but they really should have just stopped at this 48 minutes and it would have been perfectly fine, in my opinion. It would have been enough balance. Because you can do a lot in 48 minutes when waiting for the next Cayo pre-guys. There's no reason to make it like almost 2.5 hours solo and then 72 hours to wait for the normal chance of like a pink diamond or something. And it's intended to encourage exploration and cooperation. I guess exploration is targeted at the people that just get the primary target and not like the secondaries, so I assume that's what they're going for there. And cooperation between players, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. Cayo Preco Heist was intended to be like a solo-friendly heist, and now they're basically taking that shit away. How fucking pathetic, man. And yeah, this one here doesn't really necessarily go into anything new, but the stuff below does. But yeah, baseline salaries for Bodyguard Associate MC will be doubled. So I think baseline right now for Bodyguard and Associate at least is like $5,000. So I think double would be $10,000 to start, and then like $20,000 at the end of everything. So that doesn't really seem like that significant of an increase. I feel to really encourage group play in that sense. MC might be a little bit better, or it might even be worse though, I forget. But yeah, in addition to doubled salaries, MC members will also receive increased payout for taking part in cell missions. But yeah, I believe the payout currently is like $35,000 to like $70,000 at most for like the salary you can get for like a cell mission, being like an MC like member helping out your like MC president or something. 70,000 might be like on a double money thing though, I forget. So it's anywhere from 35,000 to 70,000. So maybe that can be more like 70,000. If they were to like double that as well, that would maybe like 70,000 to like 140, maybe almost 150,000 for helping sell like a full like cocaine thing, for example. So I feel the like selling increase should definitely be quite significant at least. And bodyguards and associates will now also get payouts for participating in cell missions. Because I'm pretty sure previously that was limited to MC, it wasn't a thing for the VIPCO. So thankfully it should be put more in line to like the MC how that worked previously. And then fees related to renaming organizations have also been reduced apparently. And then yeah, first time payout boosts. You'll get an email about like payout boosts for like your first time doing stuff once the update like first comes out. And even if you've done stuff obviously before the update, you'll still be eligible. But yeah, you'll get a free times payout for the new export mixed goods cell mission, which I assume will be like the daily cell mission where you do like the daily thing of like special cargo they mentioned in like the previous like newswire they did before this one here. which will be accessed through the executive assistant. After one of your new warehouse staff members acquired their first batch of cargo, micro businesses will produce stock at 3 times their regular speed, returning normal rates after your first sell. So obviously you should probably take advantage of the 3 times on all of your businesses, and then once all your businesses are full, then sell your first business, and then obviously then it will be at the normal rates from there for a bit of strategy there. Gunrunners' research speeds are tripled for first research item in particular. Doesn't seem like it should be all that impactful since it's only just one research item, unfortunately. And then production speeds are also tripled, and then that will return to normal rates after first sell mission. So again, you'll want to take advantage of full product there. And then you should get maximum advantage and whatnot. And then nightclub owners, all business battle goods will contain triple the usual amount, returning to normal rates after your first sell mission. So obviously do as many business battles as you can for your whole entire nightclub to fill up entirely. And then finally do the sale. And then the first sell mission for each of those will be double the amount for those like first time things or whatever. And then last but not least, for the important stuff on here, limited time payout boost for MC presence via PCOs. There will be limited time boost for motorcycle club work and challenges. Clubhouse contracts, which in my opinion is definitely the best one in terms of the MC that's listed here. And then member challenges. And then for VIP, there will also be VIP work on double, which that one's a very good one as well. So those will definitely be some pretty fun money opportunities to take advantage of, especially the clubhouse contracts and the VIP work. And then, yeah, from there, that's pretty much it. But yeah, very scummy changes here, unfortunately, when it comes to Cayo Perico. That's definitely the worst part of all this. Of course, of all the good they were doing, they had to do one really huge, bad thing to fuck up this update. Of course they do. Typical Rockstar there. But regardless, I'm definitely very excited for this update. Definitely one of the most hype updates in my opinion so far in this whole entire game. A quality of life update I definitely don't mind whatsoever. Going back to old content, making it way more accessible, being able to be done in invite onlys and stuff. Will give a lot more variety to do in the game. But in my opinion, Cayo Perico, all it needed was the 48-minute cooldown, and then it would have been fine. They didn't need to do all this other stuff after line 2 here. So that's my opinions on all of this anyways. But that is finally be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.